Cheers to good times, good vibes,
and living every hour like it's Gaby hour. Welcome to Gaby hour.
It's the best time of the day. I'm Gaby with a Y.
And I'm Gaby with an I. All right, so it's
Cheers.
our first podcast. Cheers. Well, I'm going to open up my wine.
Mine's already open.
Yes.
Our favorite Trader Joe's canned wine. Well, they can't really see it, but
it's super
that's
good.
What it is.
It's sparkling wine, and I have the peach flavor.
I have rosé.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's begin.
I'm ready.
All right. So we are starting our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a little introduction about who we are, maybe what we're going to talk about in the podcast, and we'll go from there.
We'll just get straight into it. So, Gaby.
All right, I'll begin. So, again, I am Gaby with an I. Yes, we are both Gabys. I am 27. I am a Sagittarius. And fun fact,
I'm also a Sagittarius.
we got two Sagittarius here. So, you already know. I am a teacher, actually. I teach first grade, so it's a little bit interesting that we're doing a podcast like this. It's definitely something that I feel like we both enjoy, and it should be very fun. And this, I guess, would be a hobby of ours, getting a little bit creative, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm Gaby with a Y again. I'm 23, Sagittarius, like we said. And I'm an accountant. For hobbies, I think I'm very big into like rescuing animals a lot. I just always end up, that apparently is a hobby of mine. And also being creative. You're going to see all of our TikToks, our reels, everything.
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
I think we have a lot of the same like interests, hobbies, so that's why we decided to do this. And we just talk all the time about like the most random topics, and we were like, okay, we just need to get it together, be creative, put it in a podcast, and
and let this be our little fun space where we also get to, I guess, relate with other people too eventually. So It should be fun.
I feel like based on how like the little introduction that we've had, I want people to kind of guess how we met.
Oh yeah, I feel like we should keep
pause it, guess, and then we can get into it now.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like we should keep it a little bit of a mystery throughout. But
so maybe we could talk about it at the end.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. It definitely keeps it more entertaining. So clearly we have a lot of similarities, but we also are very different. I feel like we have different opinions on things, but we still kind of, I don't know, we also agree on the same things. So I guess you will see throughout.
Yeah.
So I guess we could get into I don't know.
The game now.
Yeah, we have a little game to play because I feel like that would be something fun that we could start off with. I've never played this game before.
I've never played this game either, but it's a very popular game. It's called We're Not Really Strangers, and they kind of have 3 different levels of cards, so
should be interesting.
Yeah, I thought the note from the creator of the game was really cute, so I'm going to read it really quick. It says, I have found there are 2 ways to play this game. 1, play safe. 2, play to grow. The second is how you win.
Perfect.
I thought that was super cute.
Yeah, super cute, short, sweet.
Yeah, so the first level is, says about perception, so like how people perceive you, how you think people perceive you. Second level is about connection, so it's like getting deeper, like more below the surface questions, kind of getting to know whoever you're playing with, and you can play with like a bunch of people, whatever. The third level is reflection, so maybe more reflecting on your life or like the game, different things going on.
Okay, so we're also going to play not literally the exact rules that you're supposed to play. We're just kind of doing it in a way where we're asking different questions and just getting to know us a little bit more.
Yeah, so we can get to know each other. Maybe there's something we don't know about each other, or you guys can get to know us more.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna start with level one. I think I'm just gonna read it and then we can both answer whatever comes up.
Okay.
Um, it says, "Do I seem like a morning person or a night owl, and why?"
Ooh. Yeah.
No, it's
No, it's
okay.
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Son of a-
Okay. So, all right. So I kind of already know this answer. She's
Yeah.
a night owl, complete night owl, and
I thrive in the night.
yeah, she does. She does, and it's it shocks me, but she is a night owl.
Mm-hmm. I definitely am a night owl. I feel like because of maybe like being an accountant or like my work hours, whatever, other people might perceive me as like a morning person.
That's true.
But I hate the mornings. I am so grouchy. If someone, like, my entire family or like anyone knows not to be the one to have to wake me up, like when we're doing something,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I hate being woken up.
This is so true.
Yeah.
I have witnessed it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
I might be a little mean, but first they're sour, then they're sweet.
Yeah,
I get over it.
it's
Like,
okay. It's okay.
as long as the day goes on. Well, I know the answer to this one
Yeah.
for you because I know you're a morning person. You wake
Yes.
up like stupid early. Like,
I do.
even on the weekends. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what it is, but my body is just, it's used to waking up early. I'm pretty much up, honestly, like around 7, 7:30, maybe 8. If I'm sleeping in a little bit on the weekends.
Yeah.
I'm just used to waking up early. I don't know. I prefer it too. I just feel like a lot of the times my day just will go by so fast and I felt like I did nothing and that bothers me. So I like to get my day going pretty early. So in that sense, I guess we're opposite.
Yeah. I feel like, oh, I didn't do enough in the day. Let me stay up late.
Yeah,
and
I'm just
do
like,
everything.
I'm out by 9 o'clock. I'm like dying.
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. So we should do, I guess, another one of level 1.
Yeah.
All right. So question is, what am I most qualified to give advice about?
Oh, I think we were kind of just talking about this.
Yeah.
I think you're most qualified to give advice on like parenting kind of like from a third party. Because as a teacher, you see like kids when their parents don't see them, so like they might act differently at school than they do at home.
Yeah.
So I think, and you also, because you have a classroom of however many kids, you see all different types of parenting styles and like how it affects each kid in like school or like socializing.
I
So
100% agree with that. So I'm 27 again. So I've been a preschool teacher for about like 8 years or so. And then now I'm a first grade teacher. So I've just been in the education field for so long now. And absolutely, I am not a parent though. Let's not get that twisted. So at the end of the day, I can't really have, I guess it's not that I can't have a say, but I can't like say like, oh, this is how you should parent and how you shouldn't. But I do see from, like you said, a third person view of how, and I see a lot of parenting styles. So
yeah,
I see what kind of works and what kind of doesn't. And I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good with kids. So that's pretty right.
yeah.
And I would say that, yeah, that's like the one thing that I'd probably be good at giving advice. And also maybe about being kind of, if somebody's having a situation, a difficult situation where it's kind of like, I feel like I'm pretty good at being mutual.
Yeah, like a third
so,
party.
Yeah, so I feel like I usually like to advise my friends or whoever it is.
Or me.
Yeah, or you. To kind of be like, well, how does the other person feel? What if they're actually thinking this or that? So I like to kind of just, make
she's
the other
a big
person.
devil's advocate.
Yeah, I feel like I am, which is...
Yeah, she's like, well, what about, like, maybe look at it from this way?
Honestly.
Like, and I'm sometimes...
You're like, no, that's how I feel. And, yeah.
I'm just like, oh,
which makes
she
sense.
might be right.
It's valid, so it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for you, what I think you're most qualified about, or to give advice about, is definitely the animals.
Yeah.
Anything with animals, because I am actually, I love animals, but I'm also like very afraid of animals sometimes. I love dogs. That's like what my one thing that I I guess one animal that I really like. But
Mm.
she, I mean, I feel like I could ask her any question about animals and she'll know what to do. Literally, it
Yeah.
could be about, I mean, a squirrel. You had a squirrel
Yeah, yeah,
as a pet,
exactly.
so I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that's one thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that because I mean, I don't get me wrong, I'm scared like when I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing it. Like if I have to rescue a random animal or whatever, I don't know, especially when it's like my first time rescuing that type of animal.
Right.
But I definitely grew up with like a lot of different kinds. So I had like turtles, rabbits, like hamsters, mice, like whatever. I always say, I don't know if you've seen Pit Bulls and Parolees, the
Yeah,
show.
yeah, I have.
So in the introduction of that show, she says, "I'm Tia Maria Torres," and
Oh
then
yeah.
like introduces like she works with pit bulls and like hires parolees, whatever. And so every time like I'm gonna go rescue an animal, I'm like, "I'm Tia Maria Torres." That's how I hype myself up.
Honestly, you have to hype yourself up
I
to do
don't
that.
do
I
yeah.
couldn't. I
Yeah.
really couldn't. But no, I 100% agree. That's definitely something you could give an advice about.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe sometimes I'm good with like business wise, kind of.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say that too,
Yeah.
because I'm really bad with I don't know. Well, she is an accountant, but
Yeah.
like taxes or like
Yeah.
I don't know, things like that. Honestly, clearly I don't know. But I usually ask her and she
Yeah,
knows.
but besides
That's
that,
hard.
like business wise, as far as like advertisements or like my
True,
dad owns his
marketing
own
stuff.
company, he's always like asking me questions or what I think. So I think sometimes it's easy for me to see different businesses and kind of say like, oh, maybe you should do this or that, or like some people who want to get into photography, I like think they should like look at certain viral trends and do
Right.
certain videos. Like you just have to kind of put yourself out there.
Yeah.
So I think it's easy for me to give like kind of third party advice, like from the outside of like what I would want to see as a consumer.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's important. A lot of people don't do that, so.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, well, we have to look at like numbers, but what gets those numbers is like how people feel about something.
Yeah.
So I'm very good at like making the connection of like feelings and business. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. All right, so next question. Should we move on to level 2 or no?
Yeah.
We'll do one more. 3,
Okay.
3, 3.
Oh.
Ooh, angel numbers.
Ooh. A wild card says to write something down others would never guess about you just by looking at you. We're not gonna write it down, but we could just say it.
Okay.
So what do you think other people would never guess by just looking at me?
Oh, okay. No, that's kind of hard. Let me think. Something that people might not guess. I guess maybe that you. I don't know, because you could be either. Depending on who it is, I would say when you're out in public, you could either be really not standoffish, but kind of like, ew, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Or you could be completely like friendly, depending on, you just basically go off of vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
So if it was a person that maybe that you right away got along with and you want to talk to or whatever, I feel like they wouldn't know that really you can also, like, you're not, you look sweet, but you could be standoffish.
Yeah.
And kind of like a hard ass, basically, like.
Like, leave me alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something people won't expect.
I agree, because I've always looked like someone who's approachable, and it bothers me because I can't, like, genetics, whatever. I can't change the way I look. But,
Right.
Yeah, but I always, like, feel like I look approachable even when I don't want to look approachable.
Exactly. And I feel like people wouldn't expect that. So.
I think the other thing people wouldn't expect is a lot of times, like, well, from what I've heard from my friends, is, like, they think, like, oh, I'm super, like, shy, super nice, like, I don't, like, get crazy or whatever when they meet me, and then they, like, be friends with me for, like, however long, and then, like, the other side of me comes out, like, the less shy, like, oh, she's kind of just down to, like, go out or do different things, or, like, they wouldn't expect me to be down to, like, go certain places or do certain things.
Exactly. So, that's a good one, too. And I feel like also with your profession, but our profession, like, people probably wouldn't really expect that.
Yeah, like, I always like when people find out like I have tattoos. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, like
You just
in
don't really
your
expect it. Like, as many as you do, you know?
yeah.
But yeah, what do you think of me? I don't even know how.
Of you,
Yeah.
I think kind of the same. That like you look like really nice, whatever. I don't think you can ever be kind of like standoffish or like as hard.
Yeah.
I feel like you always try to be like nice. I think people when they first meet you, they won't be able to tell the difference between your laughs of like when you're actually laughing or when you're just like trying to be nice.
Yeah, because I'm like, I laugh at everything, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just super giggly, and I feel like also with like, I mean, I laugh in awkward moments, obviously when like I'm trying to like when I feel like we're having a good conversation, I'll throw in a little laugh, like, it's just like,
just throw it in there.
a little giggle, like, I don't know, I just
Yeah.
like to laugh,
Mm-hmm.
so that makes sense, that's good.
So I feel like your different laughs are like, they won't like, they think you'll be like into the conversation, whatever. Not in a bad way, just with like strangers.
Yeah.
But like maybe later on you'll be like, ew, like.
Yeah, like why was I
especially
talking?
for like like guys that come up to us, it's like ew, like, or like that was so weird. Like he was weird.
Yeah.
Like he won't be able to tell that like you thought he was weird, but.
I know. I guess I just like kind of just feel bad being kind of rude. I guess it's more like I don't want to be seen as being rude.
Yeah, but it's not even
But
that
it's
you
not,
would be rude.
yeah.
It's just like you wouldn't be as engaged in the conversation like as you are.
And I guess because I just I'm very much like this. I wouldn't want to do something that to somebody else I wouldn't want someone doing to me. Right. So I'm always like I don't want to be like half-ass listening or like basically ignoring you, you know? Unless it's like an extreme, not extreme, but like sometimes I do that if I'm like super annoyed by you or like you're a little odd or something. Mm-hmm. Like I won't like engage. But it takes a lot for me to be very, I don't know,
very standoffish.
Very standoffish, yeah.
I feel like sometimes I could be like quick to just be like, no.
I feel like when I go out at night, like to bars or anything like that, like that's when I'm very much standoffish. Mm-hmm. Unless it's like some girls. But not even. Like I'm pretty standoffish going out. Yeah. But
I feel like you have to be.
Yeah, always. It's just like a thing that turns on. But level 2. So this one is the connection. Oh, this is cool. Alright, so describe your perfect day. So what do you think my perfect day would be like?
Do you remember in Miss Congeniality when you asked this question, your perfect date? And she was like,
wasn't it April?
April 4th.
Yeah.
Or like something like that. Because it's not too rainy and like the or whatever she said about the weather.
The perfect weather.
That's what that
73 degrees.
Yeah. That's what that reminded me of.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think yours would be like, well, you wake up early. But like waking up maybe a little, like an hour later, like instead of 8,
not too much.
At 9 on a like Saturday.
Yeah, if I could wake up a little bit later, trust me, I would. Yeah. Like I want to sleep. I like to take naps.
Yeah. But, so on a perfect day, probably at like 9, and then going to get a coffee. Yeah. Or maybe working out, or just having like, I think you like to eat good food. Mm-hmm. So just having like a whole day of good food, like breakfast, like at your favorite place, like lunch and dinner, like all different. Like good restaurants or trying somewhere new or just having like a good vibe at night, chilling. I don't know, you're not really big into TV, whatever, you kind of use it to like fall asleep or like while you're doing something else.
Yeah, lately,
I don't think TV would really be involved. I think more of like being active, like going out, maybe seeing some friends. So I think you would have like good food and then you would end maybe at like not really like a bar or a club, but more like a lounge with your friends, just chilling. Or maybe like a wine night or like...
Definitely. I 100% agree. Yeah, I'm very much of like a... Definitely need my coffee in the morning. That's like my thing. That's like my self-care. Going to go get coffee. Mm-hmm. Just like the whole experience of it, just being in my car. I love driving. I love listening to music. So just being in my car, listening to music and coffee. That's the first thing. Yeah. And food. I just love to eat out. I don't know what it is. It's just whatever. I love to get breakfast out whatever. So you're right. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I would be eating out and somewhere
Yeah.
nice. I am very much of an aesthetic person. So
Yeah.
it had to be somewhere nice. So we do, well, I'll just like mention it. We live in Florida.
Yeah.
So like anything next to the beach or just, I don't know, anything.
Or like cute floral aesthetics.
Yeah, like just
like
something,
cute lighting,
a little garden.
like,
I don't know. Whatever it is, I just
you
love the
would,
aesthetic.
like, I don't know if we want to name places, but like Little Hen in like Miami, in
Oh,
like
yes.
Midtown, you would like start breakfast there, like a brunch.
Yes, that's just like so perfect to me.
Like, yeah.
And also, I also love like, I've been kind of a little bit more lately into the activities like like at the beach when I went paddleboarding the other day. Like,
yeah.
I just love going somewhere a little bit different than I usually go to. It just feels like you're low-key on vacation, that vacation feeling. And then eating after like a restaurant, like I don't know what it is, but I just want to feel like I'm on vacation, basically.
Like you're not reminded about like what you have to do the next day.
Yeah, because
or, like,
once it's the work week, it's the work week and I have my routine, but the weekends I like to be like, I'm in my own world, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah. I feel like your perfect day, let's see, definitely waking up late.
Yeah. I
Getting in like until you naturally wake up.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if you want to say
late.
what time. Yeah.
No, it could. Well, because
like,
I go to sleep late, so it's like sometimes I don't even get. Like people will think like, oh, she's sleeping the whole day. She must get like her 8 hours in, and I've gotten like 3 or like 5. Like,
right. Yeah. She sleeps very late, and I can't.
Yeah. So it's mostly. It doesn't even matter like how the amount of time that I had sleep, but just I would want to wake up feeling like good. Like I woke up on my own instead of waking up by like some noise, like a dog barking, or this or that. Like if something else wakes me up, it like bothers me for like 30 minutes to an hour. And then like I need to like do something else or like get ready to like feel better, whatever.
Exactly.
Like I just want to wake up and feel like good. Like I woke up on my own.
Yes.
So yeah,
I 100% agree. Yeah, I feel like you would have to wake up whatever time that would be.
Yeah.
She doesn't really like to eat breakfast.
No, I don't.
I'm a breakfast person, so I'm like trying to think of like, so you wouldn't really care to go like somewhere right early in the morning.
No.
She does love her Starbucks, so she's gonna go to Starbucks first
For
whenever
sure.
she wakes up, and then you do like to do activities or things like whether that's, I don't know, going to some like art museum or going to a new coffee shop. I don't know, whatever it is, you like to do something that you haven't done before, and she's pretty good at doing that. So I feel like you would want to do something like that during the day. Get all nice dressed up and things like that. Do your makeup a little bit and go do that. And then just kind of like at night, go to a nice dinner, maybe go to a bar. You love hanging out with your friends, so definitely with your friends. And just having like a really good night. I feel like good music too, of course.
Yeah. I love to dance.
Yes.
So even if I'm the only one, because a lot of my friends don't love to dance, or it like takes them a little bit. Like even if I have to be the one to start it, or like get other people on the floor or whatever, I'm gonna do it because I like to dance. So
which makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's definitely right. Like I would start waking up whatever time I wake up. I would do something new, maybe like a vendor event. I like to go to those. I love those all the time.
Yes.
Like a vendor event, going somewhere new, like an art museum, whatever, getting like cute, and like a nice dinner. I love sushi. I would eat sushi for sure that day.
We just had sushi.
So. Oh yeah, literally. And then I would see my friends and make sure I was dancing. Yeah. And then I'd go to sleep late.
And go, there's no bedtime at all.
No.
So, I feel like that would be a good day for you. But as long as you have some sort of, you just like activities, I feel like. Yeah. Whatever the activity is, whether, I don't know, you just like
I don't
activities.
like to, like, sit still. Yeah. Okay. Level 3, reflection. Okay. What do you think my defining characteristic is? Is that, like, physical or, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
I
guess it can be either or. Okay, so your physical, definitely your eyes. Yeah. Like that's the first thing people notice. And personality wise, how you are there for anyone. I don't know what that would be called, but you literally anyone like, that is like in. Yeah, I feel like you being there for anybody that literally, like anyone, you would drop anything
Yeah.
to be there for your friends, obviously your family, like whoever.
Yeah.
Whoever has not done you wrong.
That's true.
That's a better way to say it.
I mean, I feel like I give people a lot of chances. We both
Well,
do.
yeah,
We
yeah.
both give people way too many chances. Like, I give you a few chances to do me wrong, and then if you're not growing as a person, then I won't do anything for you anymore. But it's true. Like, I'm very much there for people. I'm very much like, oh, drop everything and like
and I mean it in a way because I'm like that too, and I hope a lot of people are like that. But it's like it could be the tiniest thing.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like hey, do you? I don't know. Like if I randomly like text her, like I haven't seen her like for 5 days, and I'd be like, hey, what was that place that we went to? Can you look it up for me real quick? Like you will do it right then and there.
Yeah.
And I don't do that. I'm like the.
Well, no, texting wise, no, but you would be there for someone like if they needed it.
Oh
like,
yeah,
especially your friends,
absolutely. But more like with just like minimal like things like I'll get to you when I get to you type of thing. But you'll be like,
I'll be like, okay, then. I think for you, I don't know why, but your defining characteristic I think is like your hair. Just because you talk about it to me so much, and like when I look at you, I'm always looking at your hair because I'm like, oh, it looks nice today, like whatever, like.
But I'd be having some bad hair days.
No, but like the way you like talk about it, whatever, like it's always like your hair, whatever. And then, because I also think that's like a big thing in your family too. All of you talk about your hair like all the time, like whether you're gonna change the color or whatever. Like
it's an important feature, I guess.
Yeah, so I think your hair, and then personality. That's hard.
I know it's hard to think of things.
I guess probably your like kindness, or like that you always try to see the best in someone is like to me your defining characteristic, because sometimes like you'll tell me a story or you'll tell me about someone and I think a certain way about them just based on the story, whatever, and you're like, oh, kind of going back to like you can look at things from like a third party and like see their point of view. Like you're less like judgmental than I am,
right.
Or like not in like a bad way,
no,
but like you just want to see the good in everyone like all the time, and I'm just like, she needs to be a little more like guarded.
I know. I think honestly that it has come from, well, not to bring up my teaching again, but working with kids, like you can't be like, I'm sorry, there's kids that are, I mean, just like regular people, they're not the best
tiny
personalities.
Humans.
They're tiny humans. I tell them they're like little adults. They know so much, and their personality is there already. And I can't, as a teacher, I have to be like, I have to see like the good side of everybody, you know? Like I can't.
You have to be like unbiased. You can't be like, I don't like this one kid.
Exactly, like you can't, and you have to like, because obviously then you're not a good teacher. You shouldn't be teaching if you're like always like, no. But so I feel like maybe that's why I'm kind of like that, and I feel like I've always been like that. It's just been like a natural part of me. But yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, well, I feel like working with kids, especially for as long as you have, like changes you.
Yeah,
completely. Because it changes your view on like parenting or like the kids and like how you deal with them.
Yeah.
Because even if you have a kid that's like acting out or is bad, but you know their situation, you obviously have more empathy for them.
Right.
You're very empathetic.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's one thing, and one of my best friends always tells me that, and I'm like, well, I 100% agree. Like, if I see someone crying, I will cry.
Yeah, she cries when I cry.
Yeah, and if I see, like, even on the TV, like, I don't know, the most minimal thing happens, and that's tragic. It's not even tragic. It's, like, the most minimal thing. And I'll start crying. I don't know what it is. It's just I think that's the last one for the game. Wow, we finished the game.
Now we can talk about how we met.
Okay.
Get all your guesses in.
Yes.
Last few seconds.
How do we meet? So who wants to? Well, I think it's you.
I can start.
Yeah, I should say it.
Well, I'm dating her brother. I have been for 4 years, which is kind of crazy because, like, I met you when I was 19.
Yeah.
I met her literally on our first date, which wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
It was her brother's fault.
He's a mess.
wild.
He's a mess. He's a mess.
Yeah, I met their mom on our first date, and
The
I
whole
met
family.
you. Well, no, I didn't meet your dad for like a week or two,
True.
which was kind of
But
interesting.
Still, like.
Oh, and
sure.
oh yeah.
But like my whole family. When I say my whole family, I mean cousins, aunts, grandma,
they all
grandpa.
FaceTimed us.
Yeah, they all knew by the same day, within an hour.
Literally, because I came in. He was like, "Oh, like if we're going on a date, whatever, like, and you're coming to my house, you can't just like we can't just go in my car and go, or like you can't just pick me up and we go. Like you have to meet my mom."
Oh yeah, and also I think he didn't have a car at the time.
Yeah, when I came here to their house, like your mom took a picture. I met his friend too. Like his friend that used to live in the neighborhood came over.
Oh yeah.
And it was like weird.
It was just a lot on the first day, basically. Meaning everyone, and I wouldn't know how to feel about that either. That's a lot.
Yeah, because your mom posted, she took a picture of us, she posted it on Facebook, and then all your cousins were like, show us to her.
I am so dead. The fact that she posted it on Facebook.
Literally, it's still up to this day. I have her on Facebook.
Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was wild.
I apologize on behalf of my family.
of all of them. Yeah, so we've definitely done like family vacations. We've done like within the last maybe like 2-3 years, because we like focus more on our friendship.
Yes.
Than like, oh, I'm dating your brother. Like,
yeah,
whatever.
definitely.
Like,
we hang out all the time.
Without him.
All the time without him. And we go do errands together. Yeah. We'll go out together. We'll just, obviously, we're friends, so we do things together.
Yeah, and we started this together. Like, it has nothing to do with him.
Exactly. So, it is kind of interesting that she does date my brother. So, as you can see, we have a lot of things. Mm-hmm. I guess, like, random things that are in common. Like, our name.
Yeah.
Our sign.
Yeah,
my brother.
I never remember. What is your rising and what's the other one?
Okay, so the big three.
Yeah, go ahead. Because once you say yours, mine is just flipped.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. And I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the star sign is Sagittarius. Right. My rising is in Taurus. And my moon is in Capricorn.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, I'm a Sagittarius. Mm-hmm. My rising would be in Capricorn, and my moon would be in Taurus.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's really crazy. But, but obviously, like, it still, like, makes us obviously different personalities. Like, that's different, like, completely different. But it's just interesting because I feel like that's why, although we're Sagittarius, we're both very calm. Yeah. Like, we come off very calm because of those earth elements. I don't know. They calm us the fuck down. Because if we were, like, any, like, I don't know, like
double fire signs, like,
I feel like
an Aries.
We'd be crazy.
Like, oh, yeah, that would be too much.
Yeah. But I feel like, thankfully, I mean, I take it as a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, we're, like, a calm version, but when the fire sign comes out of us, it comes out of us, so.
Yeah. When I need to, I'll pop off.
Exactly. So, yeah, that makes sense. And you know that actually, that does, like, make sense now because let's say when we're out, I'm a little shy, right? But I'm not really, like, I'll do things out in public. But she doesn't do things out, like,
what do you,
when it comes to, like, more, like,
like taking pictures, posting, I'm just like, no.
Like, you'll do it, but it takes you a little bit, and you're like,
I need to see someone else do it first. Yeah. Like, I need, like, a reference.
Exactly. Like, you'll eventually, like, tap into it, but I'm like, whatever, I'll do it. Like, I'll fully strut down the side of the street, I don't know, but if I have to. Like, I'm not gonna, like, casually do it, but, like.
Yeah, you're more likely to do something that's, like, an action in public.
Right.
But I'm more likely to, like, talk to random people.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't.
No, she's like, she won't, like, if her drink order is wrong or something. Like, for myself, I won't do it if my drink order is wrong.
For somebody else.
But for somebody else, or, like, if we're in a store and, like, they tell Angelo something wrong because I worked in retail. Oh, Angelo's her brother's name, sorry.
Oh, yeah, we just, like, threw his name in there, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't care.
Shout out to Angelo.
But, like, because I worked in retail for so long, if they tell you something that's wrong, I'm going to be like, no, that's wrong, like, check again. Like, I'll do that for you guys, but I wouldn't do that for myself.
Oh my
I would
gosh.
just be like, okay, whatever.
I'm so bad when it comes to, like, service, I guess, like, people working and they, like, mess up something. And when I genuinely see that they're not being an asshole or they're, a person, like, actually working, I will not. Like, one time, I was at TJ Maxx. I love TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
And somebody had charged me like twice for like an outfit. It was like a 2-piece set, and they charged like both the top and the bottom, but they were together. And that set was like $50, and I saw he charged it twice, but I'm just like, well, I noticed like
You
it like
didn't
when
say
I
nothing?
didn't say anything because I had a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm like, maybe, but I'm like, that doesn't sound right. But I'm like, I'll just come back and return it.
And you never did.
I did.
Oh, okay, good.
But I was just like, I didn't because I felt, I don't know why. And I was just like, I just didn't want to I don't like to deal with like unnecessary shit type of thing. Or like,
I mean, like
so yeah, so that pretty much wraps up our first episode ever. Cheers to that. Seriously, it's been, oh, wow, I didn't even drink it.
Can't forget, that's an important part of making a cheers.
Honestly. But, yeah, this has been a long time coming. Like, we've always talked about doing something together. And I don't know. It just felt like we just, like, did it. You can't really
the right time.
Yeah, like.
Right energy.
Exactly. So, I don't know. We're excited.
Yeah.
And
we have a lot more to talk about, to discuss. So, make sure you tune in. When this episode goes live, our first 4 are live, so you'll have a lot more of us to get to know.
Yeah.
Definitely follow us everywhere. TikTok, Instagram.
Okay, so follow us on Instagram at Gaby Hour Pod. GabyHourPod.
Yeah. And then TikTok is just Gaby Hour, GabyHour.
Yes. So cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening in, and we will see you next time.
Bye.